Main man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. I want to give a special shout out. Hats off to the highly respected, very well accredited, the boxing voice, man. I want to give a shout out to the boxing voice. I love what they do for the sport. And I was looking at a video that Nestor Gibbs had done interviewing Kell Brook, which was out today. And he was basically asking Kell Brook some real tough questions. I love the Boxing Voices interviews because they ask very tough questions. And he was posing some tough questions to Kell Brook. And Kell Brook was answering them questions truthfully. And then Nestor started to go into talking about Amir Khan, like, that fight's still there and this, that, and the third. And Kell Brook basically responded, was like, hey, in a nutshell, and I'm paraphrasing here, Khan didn't want to fight. You know what I mean? No one wanted to fight. And basically Kell Brook had reached a conclusion, and he asked next to the question, what will you have me do? If no one wants to fight me, what should I do? Should I prostitute myself and take joke purses from lesser fighters? I mean, what is it that you have me do? And when you pose that question and most people for that matter, you tend to get crickets. You know what I mean? The first thing that tends to shoot out of people's mouths is, well, why don't he fight Errol Spence? Errol Spence. I personally wouldn't mind seeing the fight. I think Kell Brook beats him at this point in Errol Spence's career. But my thing is, Kell Brook feels like every other champion at welterweight. Errol Spence has ways to go. He has things to prove. You know what I mean? He needs a big name before he gets to me. And we see clearly that Sean Porter is trying to finagle some things with the IBF, hoping to possibly get back into the IBF rankings. But the fact still remains is that outside of Errol Spence, who Kell Brook felt as though needed more to do, and plus Kell Brook wanted a big name fight. He didn't want Errol Spence. He wanted bigger monsters than Errol Spence. He wanted the Thurmans, or the those type of guys, the Garcias, those style. Those are the guys he was calling out, and got no response, might I add. So though Errol Spence will be a great fight for us, man, for us diehards, man, it'll be an awesome fucking fight. Big name wise, recognition wise, Kell Brook wants bigger. And this is how we got the Gennady Golovkin fight. But the fact I'm bringing up is that Amir Khan is talking shit. And this poses the same thing to him, too. Amir Khan is out today in an article, basically once again criticizing the Kell Brook and GGG fight, as he always does. And he put something out in quotations, and let's talk about this. He says, and I'm quoting Khan here, I think Brook is small for the weight going in. But even though he's been weighing heavier than Triple G weighed in at 162, and I heard was almost at 168. So he's already a lot heavier than him. But will that be his downfall? I think time will tell, Khan said. I think maybe he's taking the wrong approach for the fight by being heavy naturally. If he would have been a naturally lighter guy, he could have moved quicker. But if he's going to stand there with a big puncher, I think he's going to get hurt. And, when I listen to that, ladies and gentlemen, I say to myself, Amir Khan sounds like a biatch. Let's not forget the fact that Amir Khan has ducked Kell Brook for numerous years now. The fight has been ready. I personally believe that Amir Khan is saving that fight for a cash-out fight when he has basically no other avenue to go. Because clearly he's tiptoeing towards his mandatory bout with Danny Garcia, which he remains the WBC #1 contender, and he refuses to enforce that. I understand he has a certain amount of time he has to stay out of the ring for getting his ass knocked out. I don't know where Amir Khan's been. He's been going all over the place. If you want to find Khan, just follow the trail of broken glass from what I understand. But Amir Khan seems to be given all of this criticism from the outside looking in. Funny how when Khan went up in weight, he felt as though his speed would still be intact. He wasn't going up as heavy as Brook is, but clearly for those first 5 rounds, Amir Khan's speed was there. It's just that we all knew it was a matter of time because of that chin. And clearly, if you go back and look at that fight, I think Canelo carried him for a couple rounds. But Amir Khan is bitching in the background. You didn't want to fight Brook, bruh. That's the reason I brought up the beginning of this video. Because it's fighters like Amir Khan who didn't want to fight my main man, Kell Brook, that forced this dude to go and take a fight with Gennady Golovkin. It's bitches like Khan, you know what I mean? And I supported Khan, man. I supported Khan for numerous, man, for a long, when he was the #1 contender at the WBC and the entire world was going against Amir Khan. Why are you trying to chase Floyd Mayweather? I respected what Khan was doing. He fought his way to become the #1 contender. Of course he wants that Mayweather fight. And Mayweather didn't give him a legitimate reason as to why he didn't fight him. He just felt as though he didn't want to fight him. I think, honestly, Mayweather felt as though he would have been outclassed by a faster fighter. That's what I think. But Mayweather didn't take the fight. And I supported Khan for standing at that #1 position. Because Mayweather had to give a legitimate reason. I don't give a fuck who Mayweather is. He's still a fighter and a boxer at the end of the day, and he didn't give that man a legitimate reason. But Khan pissed away 2 years chasing Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, thinking he was up on that level. Get on their level, Khan. Because people here in America only really know you for getting your ass knocked out. And that's being real talk. You know what I'm saying? But when Khan went up to 155, and like I said before, I supported Khan for standing there at 147. But when he felt as though he had any other big name options at 47, he took his ass up and got a fight with Canelo. He worked out some side deal with Oscar, and I don't know how he did it, given that Al Heyman does not have the control over Khan like he does the rest of his fighters, and he got a fight with Canelo. But Khan forced himself out of 47, worked that deal out with the WBC, just like Kell Brook did with the IBF. And he went up there and got that bag of money, and he came back down after he got his ass knocked out. But the reason given was that he was looking for a big fight. He felt as though he was highly deserving of a big fight. Everything he's put into the gym, everything he's did in his career, he felt as though he was deserving to be mentioned with the big dogs. And now Kell Brook is basically preaching that same thing, and you ain't with it. You know, hats off to the other British fighters, your Furies, your Dylan Whites, your Anthony Joshua's, all those guys over there, man. Because even though a lot of them may not see Kell Brook winning, they're not going against their fellow countryman. You know, because this is the biggest fight in British history if Kell Brook wins. No ifs, ands, or buts. This is the biggest win on British soil if this wins. For that factor alone, Khan should be on board with this shit, man. But he's being a biatch. He's sitting in the background complaining and bitching and wishing it was him. He ain't got no spotlight, so he's trying to get some spotlight. Poor little fucking Amir Khan. Not buying that shit, man. Fact of the matter was, your speed was still intact. You got knocked out. Don't worry about what Brook's game plan. Maybe his game plan ain't based on speed. You don't fucking know that. All I do know is you're doing a bunch of bitching and you're irrelevant at this moment and you're tiptoeing back to your mandatory. Haven't heard the name Danny Garcia come out of your mouth in months. And I said it then, even though he was at welterweight waiting on Floyd Mayweather, and I supported him to stand at that #1 position, I still thought he could have went after other fights at welterweight. That would have taken the fight. But you were so fixated on Floyd. And now you want to talk shit about a man that's trying to do great things. All of you fight fans out there who are talking shit ought to be ashamed of yourselves because you say, oh, we want to see boxing past the UFC. We don't want to see MMA take over the sport. But then when you get a fight of this magnitude on the books, you bitching about it. That's fight fans for you, man. Even when Pacquiao and Mayweather went down, you had people bitching about that fight. Damn if you do, damn if you don't, right? I'd rather see history made. I'd rather see something great happen in this sport. I want to see boxing put back on the forefront. And fights like this are the type of fights that make that shit happen. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all crying babies say, including Amir Khan. Fuck him. To the next video, Main Man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man, Made Man Boxing Forum. Google Plus, Main Man, Made Man. Well, my dude, hashtag shock the world. That's going to be so much bitterness. And people are some people are trying to take neutral positions now, man, like down the middle. Well, I give him a chance, but he's not going to win. But he might. There's a chance that he win. Fuck out of here. People are tiptoeing. I'm 100 on the side that say Kell Brook wins. Ain't no gray area. Ain't no debating. He wins. And I'm going to tell you how very soon. To the next video. Peace out.